What's going on, guys? Welcome to my channel. I'm here to review the Immortal Thor #1, which came out a couple of weeks ago. And I'm gonna be very blunt about this comic book. It this comic made me really angry, man. I am a huge Thor fan, and this new run that came out by Al Ewing and Martin Coccolo with colorist Matthew Wilson, I will say the book, the art is beautiful. This cover is beautiful. This is a pretty awesome cover. Um, and the interior, the art is just, it's pretty good. It is good. I will concede to that. It looks great. I think Martin Coccolo is pure talent, man, pure talent. And Matthew Wilson's color just complements his art completely, So on the art side, this book is pretty awesome. As far as the writing, it's just it's appalling. And I'll tell you right now, right off the bat, I did write a letter to you know of what I thought of this book, and I wasn't very kind. It's just this seems to be to me the antithesis of what Thor is about. It's like Al Ewing does everything possible to make Thor be what he's not. It's like he wants to um, just go against everything Thor has stood for in his past adventures. It's just crazy to me, crazy to me. So let's take a look. Let's take a look, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's a good memorandum of John Romita, who recently passed away. Some nice pages of dedication talking about him, but that's not part of the book really. So we start with ominous figures in the story. They're talking about the wheel turns, and these figures, clearly they're gonna be the antagonists of this storyline, and they start in the shadows. That's typical. It's often seen. So we begin. The story really begins here with the Frost Giants. It's the Frost Giants, and they are menacing. They're about to attack. I guess this is Asgard, and here we go. The Warriors 3 are now the Warriors 4. I didn't know that. That's a new thing to me. Now there's a woman. Of course, there's a woman. And this is the problem. This is the problem. This is what's going on in Marvel right now. Marvel is all anti-masculinity. Marvel does not like real men. They do not like patriarchy. They don't like your typical male superhero anymore. They don't like it. And I'll show it to you in this story. So the Warriors 3, like I was saying, they're now the Warriors 4, according to Wolstag. Let's look at this dialogue by Volstagg. Volstagg has always been kind of a comedic Thor supporting character. And he's always, He's always eating a lot, drinking a lot, because that's what us guardians do. They love to eat, they love to drink, they love women, and they love battle. Has always been, they're normal for us guardians. But let's look at this language, this dialogue here for a little bit. I, Hogan, and to shield the real maternal like a mortal icebox, I fear the Warriors 4 may end their legend as a four-course frozen dinner. What say you, Hildegard? I say that no soldier of Asgard need fear Volstagg when their king stands beside them. Look up. So yeah, you know, I don't know. They were standing. Was it a standoff? I'm not sure what the writer was trying to convey here. But the Warriors 3, from what I've known, from what I've seen in their past adventures, they wouldn't just stand there, and talk it out with the Frost Giants, and the Frost Giants wouldn't just stand there and just talk it out. So it's kind of a standoff. That's what the story opens with, and quickly it's revealed that it's a beautiful splash page as Thor makes his appearance. Now, although I love this pinup, I love this, the pose, Thor coming down from the heavens, the lightning, and his hammer Mjolnir, spinning, classic Thor, right? The only thing I don't like is that stupid smile on his face. So Thor's coming, so the Warriors 4 feel okay. So everything's okay because our king is here, right? That's basically what's going on so far. So as is often done in Marvel now, Marvel comics and a lot of other comics as well, we gotta have a lot of talking heads, because action is not the main thing. It used to be comic books, when we bought comics, we bought them for that outrageous action that comics brought us, Nowadays, the modern writers, they love to have characters stand and just say witty bullshit, and that humor that has been going on since Joss Whedon did the Avengers, and had the Avengers be humorous and shit, and making people giggle and stuff. That has stuck for many years, and in the comics, so we gotta have witty repartee, So Thor comes down and he says, I am in no mood to bandy words, my friend. So I will speak in my piece plain. I am deeply disappointed in thee. Rightly so, this giant, this frost giant says, you are disappointed? Screaming frost mage turns all to desert of ice and snow, and you are disappointed? So, they have never heard Thor talk like a pussy, so they're laughing at him, and Thor reveals that my words were not for you, Screamer. I am speaking to thee, and he points. What's Thor pointing at? My unfaithful servant. And one of the giants says, the sky? A storm. Oh, snow is still a storm, and still mine to command. So what mean you by coming here at a clumsy hedge wizard's bidding? What mean you spreading ice chaos in your liege lord's domain? So, this is very whack dialogue. Not every writer is really makes Thor sound as majestic as he should sound. Walt Simonson is one of the best at doing it. Dan Jurgens, Michael Straczynski, those are writers that manage to always make Thor sound very majestic, as he should. But this exchange here is kind of ridiculous. So you are but a little blizzard. So this once Thor shall be merciful, be gone from here, and we will say no more. So Thor just talked down the weather. This writer is implying that the weather, the storms, are sentient, I guess, and that they work for Thor. And, I guess they clock in and then they do Thor's, work. And Thor doesn't need the hammer anymore to control the weather, to make lightning happen, to make rain happen. No. He now talks to the weather, and he makes the weather go away by shaming it, by guilt tripping it. It was just an amazing, ridiculous scene to me. And what's worse, as soon as it stops snowing, the frost giants run out in fear. The scorching sun, the summer's heat, already the snow begins to melt, and so shall we. Run from Skyfather, lest he disappointed with us. Hold fast, you cretins. So only Screamer stays. So now the frost giants are fucking cowards. According to this writer, the frost giants are, and they're afraid to melt. I mean, it's just. But let's move on. The scene is ridiculous, but let's move on. So Thor says, "Still thy tongue, Screamer. Let them go. Those warriors you beguile are but young giants, swayed by honey-sweet tales of battling the ancient." How does he know what they are? He's just showed up. Thor, just showed up. So how does he know more about those frost giants than Screamer, who was a minute ago commanding them and they were about to attack? It's just ridiculous. So Screamer goes and he attacks, blah blah blah, and he goes on a full attack mode, and he attacks Thor, as you can see. Oh, here we go. Look at this ad. Werewolf by Night #1. Strong female right up front, overshadowing the character. So you can bet this is gonna be a bait and switch. Any fan of Werewolf by Night is gonna buy the book thinking they're gonna see Werewolf by Night, but they gotta put up with this fucking whoever this is. This is what's going on in Marvel Comics. So, the fight ensues. Screamer is attacking. Dance as speedily as you wish. I only have to hit you once, he says, through words. And if he could speak, Mjolnir would say the same. And he throws Mjolnir at the giant, and he blasts the giant to pieces. So why the hell didn't Thor do this from the beginning instead of that ridiculous talking down the storm scene? It's just, ridiculous shit. So let's move on. Let's fast forward. More talking and talking and talking. What is their role in this? Did Loki try to prevent this incursion or encourage it? Why not ask me yourself, Thor? And here we go. Now this is supposed to be Loki. I've been here the whole time. Ta-da! Now Loki says ta-da. Loki, the transgender, says ta-da. And he's missing a tooth. Loki. The trickster returns, looking more chaotic than ever. A green tiding. Since when does this guy talk like that? With you, what isn't? Ignore him, Loki. You look great. Dashing as ever, Fandral. So Fandral is smitten by transgender-looking Loki. So, because we gotta have, gay motives, and we gotta be woke, and we have to be modern. We gotta go with the times now. Established heroes from comic book lore, they are turned gay on a whim now. Loki, who has always been a man and has always been menacing, is now, some type of transgender character. Enough pleasantries, Loki. So them exchanging this lustful stare was a pleasantry. Enough pleasantries, Loki. We must speak one monarch to another. You are ruler of Jotunheim. That I didn't know. I guess that's from past storylines. All that didn't work out. What? All of a sudden they drop, now and then they drop the whole Asgardian accent, and they speak like fucking, New Yorkers, like teenagers and shit. Loki, it was you who claimed that throne, and a throne brings responsibility. You cannot simply abandon what you began. Maybe you can, brother. Don't project your neurosis on me. What? Say what? What the fuck is going on? Look at this ridiculous image. That is Loki, Thor's #1 nemesis. Is now some puny transgender looking figure. At the end of the day, the Jotun can rule themselves, and so can I. Buri's bones. I never heard Thor say Buri's bones ever. So be it then. Oh, so he's just, that was just, very easy. Thor just gave in, huh? I'll not force your rule on Jotunheim any more than I would my own. So Loki, let's get this straight. Loki has always been a bad guy that is motivated by power. He's always going for the power grab. There has always been a love-hate relationship between his brother Thor and him. He's the god of mischief. And he has done everything possible before in past storylines to rule Asgard. So now, according to this writer, Loki doesn't even care about ruling. And he wouldn't force neurosis on others either. So don't force them on him. And Thor just goes along with it. I mean, this exchange is just ridiculous. But I have strong memories of prior mischiefs, Loki, and I would know what brings your wandering feet back to my kingdom. What else? You're god of the storm, Thor. I'm god. I'm goddess of the story. The skald of all the realms. So I don't know what the fuck is going on with this writer, but this isn't the Loki or Thor that I knew. And I'm sorry, man, but I'm not gonna pull my punches here. I'm gonna just think what I I'm gonna say what I think, and I hate this. I hate this with a passion. Where else would I go but where the stories are? So Loki's a storyteller now. He's the god of the story. What the fuck does that mean? Ha! Very well, Loki. We'll clear your mess up as we go. I'm glad you're home. Oh my god, how merry. How easy you are, Thor. This is Thor, the god of thunder. This smiling idiot who just goes along with whatever this other fucking guy says. Understand you yet? You will. Me too. Now, how about I whip us up a nice rainbow bridge? I do recall that the bridge to Asgard, the Rainbow Bridge, was destroyed, and if I recall correctly, it would take. It was, it wouldn't be easy to repair it. I mean, if Odin or Thor haven't been able to fix it, but here we go. Here we go. There's a saying about gift, horses, and mouse Thor, but if you must know, gaze upon the wand of Wutherar, jam-packed with mystery magic. That's very convenient. Mystery magic. Mystery magic. So mystery magic is just, Simajig. It's just a convenient tool to fix whatever the writer is too lazy to actually, make a story and fix it. Found it in the collector's vaults during a minor adventure I won't trouble you with. It is better I do not know some of your escapades. See, because Thor is alluding that he has adventures of the sexual kind, probably. Make the attempt, then. I will stand guard in case this backfires, like the last time. So what, so up until this point, this is all just let's make up shit as we go, because the frost giants were going to attack. Thor appears, he stopped them, and they left. Loki was there all along watching, and he has a surprise. He's gonna fix the LGBT bridge with a very convenient magic stick, and boom, he proceeds to magically fix the LGBT bridge. There you go. Just because this, no struggle, no storyline, no motivation, just, Loki, in some sex adventure he had, he stole the stick from the collector, a stick with magic, with mystery magic, and the mystery magic is powerful enough to fix the LGBT bridge to Asgard. And look at this stupid face. Look at Thor. Now he looks like a transgender himself. Look at that. By all the gods! And he's all smiles. And look at Loki. With his Harry Potter one. I'm sorry, Thor. I almost do not dare to touch it. It is even stronger than it was before, Thor. I doubt it will break again. So how do you know? It just showed up a second ago. How does Sif know this? Why is she claiming it's stronger than before? Why? How? How come? How come? Is she the bridge was just repaired. So why does she claim that? Ha 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 ha. So yeah, according to Al Ewing, he wants Thor to smile and laugh a lot. Ha ha ha. Oh, now the brooding is done, Sif. Now my heart is light again. Oh, that's so touching. A new chapter for Asgard has begun, and we have our own skull to thank for weaving it. You have my eternal gratitude, Loki. So Loki's not a bad guy anymore. Thor is not a hero anymore. They're not at odds anymore. There's no conflict between them anymore. There's just convenient meetings and bullshit claims. Just very lazy writing. Gone as suddenly as they came, something in that troubles me. As fragile as joy indeed, Thor Odinson. No sooner are Asgard's problems solved than you chase after fresh ones. I fear you will never be comfortable on your throne, as long as it demands so much sitting still. You know me far too well, my lady. What would you recommend for such a malady? What else? We have a Bifrost again, Thor. Have you done enough for Asgard for one day? It's time to see to your other home. Once again, you show more wisdom than any old father, Sif. So note it be. Let the god of thunder ride the rainbow bridge once more. So, out of just a mere suggestion by Sif, Thor decides to also leave his throne, just like Loki did, to stop ruling and just leave Asgard because he's bored and he wants to chase. I don't know. This is just preposterous storytelling. It's just horrible, man. Horrible bullshit. To Midgard. So, on the next page, great art, by the way. Great art. Like I said, the art is not a problem for me. The art is pretty great looking. So yeah, Thor needs to, Thor, according to this writer, to Thor, Earth is like a bar. Whenever he feels bored, he goes to Earth, and that's his cheers, where everybody knows his name. Oh, and he lands in the middle of the crowd. Why? Since when has he done that? So everybody loves him and he's smiling. Oh, and he's signing an autograph. Look. Though not as a god. So this writer has a problem with gods. As you will quickly see. Thor has no worshippers here, and we wish for none. Thor, the god of thunder, has no more worshippers. There's been writers in the past. Jeff Jones was one of them, I remember. About a decade ago, he made a story where he established that people pray to Thor because he is a god. But this writer is not having any of that. Thor just wants to be a regular schmo, taking pictures with the regular folk. Let's move on. So, we go through several little scenes. He stops by a park, plays chess with the elder. All of a sudden, this, gay haircut girl comes asking for help. I don't know. It doesn't exactly give details. Just go as if you came to Thor as a friend in need. If you told the son of Odin a tale of injustice done or a wrong committed, the thunder would break the sky to right it. So, not that we deserve any dialogue, right? This girl comes to ask for help. For what? I don't know what's going on. This, the white male bad guys are beating up on this girl, or because she's a mutant. He's come for the mutie. So these guys are committing a hate crime on a mutant. I don't know what's going on. It's just, I've been away from Marvel comics for so bad. I bought this book because I love Thor, but Marvel comics has become so woke and so annoying that I don't buy their books anymore. Never mind a battle scene. It's not like this is a visual medium, right? In the next page, he already beat him up. Something happened. The mutant that was trapped is celebrating in happiness. Hey, get up, dogs, get up, so Thor may smite thee again. So we didn't see you smite anything, because this writer just decided to skip that. And then he's drinking with the mutants, the regular folk, and then he flies away. So it's just one scene after another. So now he goes into a deep, thought. How long has it been? How long since I simply stood here and let my mind roam? And more bullshit. Then he's thinking about, what other dead superheroes, where they are. And he alludes to telling us in his thoughts that even he doesn't have certain powers. He can't tell where dead people go, what happens after death. Oh, by the way, this writer establishes that I decide who is worthy of it. So I guess Thor now decides who can wield the hammer, who can lift the hammer. If Thor says, a little boy can lift it, that little boy can lift it. If Thor says that, a murderer in death row can lift the hammer, he can lift it. I no longer have the luxury of railing against my father's commandments. I must now command myself. So that's the motive. That's the motif. That's the theme here. This, Asgardians, Thor, Loki, those are the old ways, according to this writer. Why rule? We don't have to rule anything. We don't have to be kings. We don't need worshippers. Let's just be regular folk. The hammer, can belong to anybody. And I see it coming. I see it coming because he just said it here. And I decide who is worthy of it. So I see in future issues that Thor is going to give the hammer to some lame woke character. I promise. And it's going to be a woman. It's not going to be a man. You can rest assured that it's not going to be a man. It's going to be some weak little girl, probably foul-mouthed, and she's going to hold the hammer. She's going to be the new Thor. Watch. Beautiful art. Again, the art is just beautiful. The coloring jumps out. Beautiful looking art. I hate this scene. All of a sudden, again, we have Thor talking to a storm. Since when does Thor talk down the weather? That's what I want to know. It's just crazy to me. The Master of Storms orders thee, be gone from here, and let there be clear skies again. But what does the lightning do? does completely the opposite. It doesn't go away, and it destroys the Statue of Liberty. That's another thing. There's a lot of little anti-American things going on in Marvel Comics, and destroying this American landmark. I ain't down with it, but whatever. Let's move on. Let's end it. Let's end this. So Thor's shocked, and he's who was god of the superstorm? Thor was only god of the storm. Who was god of the superstorm? So there's storms and there's superstorms. And Thor has no say over the superstorms. Because the superstorms have a different resume, and they don't work for Thor. They don't punch in for Thor. Only the regular storms punch in for Thor. Just ridiculous shit. And here a bad guy reveals himself. The wheel, he says. The ones that we saw at the beginning, great looking visuals, by the way. This looks pretty amazing. So this bad guy says, has turned, too long has this world stagnated, too long have you chosen illusion over change. You sleepwalk through a dream of life, but I am the bloody awakening. I come to you from Utgard, the story land that is the land of true things. I come to shatter thy false world apart. So is he referring to Earth? Is Earth a false world, Asgard, or does he refer to Thor's overall surroundings? That's a mystery. And my name is Doranos, the Utgard Thor. So he's a Thor from an alternate universe Thor, an evil Thor. Yes, sir. That's what he's alluding to. And then did mighty Thor no fear? So Thor's scared. And we have action sequences of destruction. Planes in the sky being struck by lightning, destruction of buildings, the weather going crazy, floods. Is all that happening in like a minute? Because Thor is still here, so hear me, son of Utgard, for you face the Odin's son now, and his own. Stop talking and fucking attack. Do something instead of fucking talking. The bad guy's talking and the superhero's talking, and that's what it's all about with these new comic books, man. It's just crazy shit. Crazy, man. I summon the old power against you now. I don't know what happened. It's unclear, but there's more shadowy figures, and there's more magic trinkets, and more mystery. Then the Utgard Loki will destroy him utterly. So there's an Utgard Thor, and now there's an Utgard Loki. Like I said, an alternate versions of Thor and Loki. Next, all weather turns to storm. Not that I'll be seeing the next issue, let me tell you. This is the last issue I'll be buying for Al Ewing. Too bad, too, because the art is pretty awesome. Martin Coccolo, he's a very good artist. And there it is, the Immortal Thor #1. I hate it. I hate the issue. I hate everything stood for. I hated the dialogue. I hated the story. And I hated transgender Loki. I hated passive Thor, smiling Thor, and all the bullshit scenes in this book. Forgive my rant, but I said I wasn't gonna pull my punches. Thanks guys for listening to me. Give me likes, dislikes, subscribe to my channel, please. Check out my artwork in my short videos, and please subscribe to my channel. I'm not always negative, let me tell you. There are books I do love, and you know, if I see more subscribers, I'm gonna review more books and stuff. Thanks, guys, for listening again. Peace.